Hey Hodies, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are going to be doing an anti-Valentine's Day look, which was inspired by an old look I did. Well, I guess it's supposed to be inspired. I have no idea what it's going to look like by the time we're done with this, so bear with me. If you're new to my channel is all about loving my makeup collection as it currently is. Nothing that I'm using today was bought specifically for this look. It's all stuff that I already had in my collection, and that's what I really like to focus on, but I do occasionally review some new makeup items or new to me makeup items. So if that kind of content sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video before you leave it because that really helps me. And I'm also on patreon.com if you would like to support me there. No pressure though, it's just there if you'd like to support me. Watching and commenting is plenty. Thank you to all of my current patrons. You guys are truly the best. You help keep the lights on over here. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna move my hair out of the way. I don't know, I can't really, move it out of the way. It's like a way that feels good, that feels, I like the way it looks. I don't have bobby pins anymore, but I just feel like I want it to be out of my face. But like that, I cannot do this whole video like that. That's better. I mean, it's not great, but I look like I'm from the Goofy movie. Like my hair is like, yeah, we're gonna do an anti-Valentine's Day look. It's inspired by this look that I did in 2020 when I worked at Sephora. We used to do our like themed makeup days on Saturdays because I think that was just when the most of the cast worked. So it was like you were more likely to be there. I remember people being so confused by it. Because they were like, did someone break up with you? And I was like, no, but I was like, it's like the story, right? Like if we were supposed to do Valentine's Day look, I wanted to do something different. I would like it to be known that I wasn't always like contrarian when it came to like these themed things at Sephora, because I was really a team player. In fact, oftentimes I would want to do like a really crazy look and then we would have a themed weekend and then it was like encouraged to do that. I need to get started because I'm going to be here forever because these kind of looks take some time. And I'm not really great at like talking while I do these looks. I'll mention some of the makeup that I'm using, but not all of it, because I think that would be that would be difficult for me. All of my Sephora experiences need to be like reduced and thought of as like my own personal experience and my own personal Sephora, because that's just what it is. Like I can't speak to how the other Sephoras worked. That was something that we did a lot of at my Sephora, and I could have done that eye look at any time and it would have been a non-issue. Like I could have done a really dramatic look at any time and it would have been okay. Also, I want it to be known that like at my Sephora, it was like not really required that we wore makeup, right? And because like, some people are really into skincare and sometimes you just didn't have the to-do to wear makeup to work, and they seem to understand that. I would say most people probably didn't ever not wear makeup to work, but like I would set aside an hour of time or so to like get ready for work at Sephora because I just wanted to play with my makeup. And that's something that I really do miss about like working there, is like I definitely wore makeup more often because I was like working there. Although that's not always true, because if I worked my other job before working there, I wouldn't wear makeup. I do want to change the eye shape. I really don't even remember what I did on my eyes. I'm not even pulling it up for reference. I like kind of remember what I did. So it's, we're going to be doing a lot of red here. I'm going to be taking this red and I'm going to do like a winged eye shape, but I try to make it a little more devilish. It is Love Plus from Sugar Pill. And we're going to do like a wing. I don't know. I just want to do like a different eye shape. That's, I guess, is what I want to do. I'm gonna go up into where my eyebrow would be if I had them. Kind of doing like a cut crease situation. But I want my wing to go like up at like a higher angle. Do you see what I'm saying? But I'm gonna bring it back all the way down. And red's the color, I guess the color of love. I don't know, whenever Valentine's Day stuff comes up, it's always red, right? Which is a little confusing because in marketing, isn't red supposed to be like a color that evokes like anger? Because how like yellow means like caution, not just because of the caution tape, but it is like the human reaction to seeing the color yellow is to like, your senses are a little bit raised. I'm not making that up. I might be. I was a PR major in college. That's not what my degree is actually in, because I famously, well, probably not famously, you probably all don't know this, I went to 5 different colleges. There was a lot of me trying to like commit to self-discovery, and turns out college just wasn't for me. I do have a degree in general studies. I did finish online. At the end of it all, I was just like, I might as well just get this over with. Like Ginger Minge walking into All Stars 2. Let's get this over with. There's so much glitter on the brush I just tried to use. I'm so annoyed. I'm not ready for glitter yet. The color switch, sorry, I'm jumping topics here. The color switch from Sigma, I love it, except when I don't. And one thing I don't love about it is that whenever it's, if you don't know what it is, it's like the Vera, whatever color switches, but it's like silicone and it's supposed to be reusable. As you can you see this? You see all the sparkles in there? I wash it every time I wash my brushes. The sparkles, they stay. And so I'll be like trying to use it to kick off another eyeshadow color, and then I pick up sparkle. And I use so much sparkles, like when I tell you, I did DM the brand on Instagram and I was like, hey, I basically said exactly what to do. I love this. How can I get the sparkles out? They have not responded to me. This look goes out to all of the people who don't have a Valentine. This look is also inspired a little bit, because I will be writing words on my face, a little bit by Marina and the Diamonds. Well, Marina, now I'm just Marina, formerly of the Diamonds, formerly and the Diamonds. She had this song. Well, now it's on Spotify now, but it used to not be. It was in the Electra Heart era, and it was called Evil, but it was EVOL, and it was like a free download back in the day, and then now it's on the platinum version of Electra Heart, and I'm not really sure what led to that. Like, I don't remember seeing Marina like making any statements about that, but I'm happy it's available for me on Spotify. It was always one of my favorite like forgotten songs, and like when I say it was available to download, it was like a free download from like her website. Remember when bands used to do that? Maybe some of you won't remember this, because like I was definitely someone who was like very into like finding music when I was younger. iTunes used to do this thing where they would give you like 20 free songs, or like maybe it was magazines. I was subscribed to a couple like music publications. My goal when I was in college, this is like not what I actually planned on talking about at all. Whenever I like came up with this, when I wanted to do this look, I was going to talk about Valentine's Day. I wanted to be a music publicist. That was like my goal. I was very into some artists, and I would do a lot of, free promotion, because like they were my favorite musicians, and I caught a couple of their attention. Not super famous people. I guess it's worth saying here, because I answered this on my Instagram, but I know that not all of you are Instagram. It says weird/ballsy/painfully shy, and it has to do with what I was just talking about. That wasn't just like a severe case of ADHD coming out of me. That's a song by Leslie Hunt, and it's on Spotify. Leslie Hunt was a contestant on American Idol. Anyway, I did a lot of like, promoting her album and stuff when it came out, and like obviously that was very helpful. It was like free promotion for her. I mean, it's not the worst. They're fairly even. And that was why I'm swinging it back around. That was why I was like subscribed to music publications, because I wanted to be like in the know of like new music. And I'm very musically motivated. I mean, I don't know. Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, sometimes, I'm not going to say daily, but sometimes I do it a few days in a row. I will just put a song on Spotify, and then I will sing along to it in my Instagram stories just for a little bit of the song, not the whole song. Normally just like the minute that Instagram allows me. Music publications used to be like, download, like it would give you a code, and you would go into iTunes and you would get like a packet of free songs. Or if you just followed music blogs, sometimes they would have them. Or sometimes music blogs would get like permission from the artist to allow a free download of their songs. It's actually how I got into Marina, but it wasn't a music blog. It was like now that I'm monetized, I guess I can't really say that word. An adult entertainment website, blog. It was a blog. But they would talk about music on Fridays. And that's how I found Marina. They had a free download of the song 17. Then of course I followed Marina. But all that to be said, do you remember when bands would do that, or like when artists would do that and like have just songs that weren't gonna be on like deluxe editions or anything, and they would just release them? It also was on iTunes. I don't know if it's still on iTunes. Well, I guess it wouldn't be anymore, because now it would be on the official platinum version. But it was on iTunes as like a single you could buy for 69 cents after it wasn't free anymore on her website. You could still download it. Marina also, during this era, in case you missed it, did a collaboration with Charlie XCX called Just Desserts, and it's a banger. And Charlie even in a tweet said that it was one of her favorite collabs that she's ever done. But also, if you're unaware, Charlie XCX and Marina had a falling out, because during the Fruit era, Marina did a photo shoot, like Garden of Eden style, and then Charlie XCX did one a couple months later or something like that, and then Marina made some kind of cryptic tweet. It was a weird thing for Marina to decide to be messy about, but I forgive her. I remember it happening and being like, girl, you don't own rainbows, but we stand Marina in this house. I also think that Mike's Mike talked about that in sorry, I'm blurring out this line because I'm not sure that I want it to be so harsh, but we are gonna keep whatever goes on underneath in that area. Do I have any red multichromes from Cleona? I don't think I do, because red is not of my favorite colors. We're gonna throw some pink on here too, so maybe. No, I don't have a red. That's the Marina corner. This red shimmer I'm putting on my eyelids, I think is a Pat McGrath shade. If it is a Pat McGrath shade, it is from the first Mothership Mega, the first holiday Pat McGrath palette, the big one. Because I did have that, but I depotted it a while ago. It's looking more orange. I hate that, but whatever. We're getting into it. We're gonna let it slide. I used to have this pigment from MAC. Not a pigment. It was face and body something, and I didn't really use it, but it was the thing that it was the only thing that ever showed up on my skin as a true red. Love Plus is really good. It's showing up pretty red, but a lot of times, because the base isn't a stark white, even on me, someone who's very fair, it alters the way red shades look on you. I guess it's okay that it goes a little orange. It is red. I mean, it's going. Am I gonna be able to find a pink shade to get into the inner corner? Because that's what I would like to do. And I guess it doesn't have to be super matchy. We are doing an anti-Valentine's Day look, but while using traditional colors for Valentine's Day. I'm what are we talking about today? Valentine's Day. I don't know about a lot of you. Maybe most of you are in love. You have love. You found love. Love is for you. You love love. Maybe this to get a little pink, but it'll be translucent. Let me see. I'm gonna do it on my hand just to see what they look like. I think they'll go. Because it's translucent, it has that green and green red complementary kind of go. And whenever I wore this highlighter in my first impressions video, all I saw was the pink on top of that pink blush. Yeah, that's it. That's the stuff. I've been in the past been very jaded about Valentine's Day. And it's really easy to be one of those people who sucks the joy out of the holiday for other people. And I see it from both sides, you guys. It's a corporate holiday invented to just make us spend money, blah, 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 capitalism, blah, blah, blah. But I also understand from the people who get a lot out of it, they really, really, really they just really like it. And who am I to deny them that joy? And who are we, people who might not like the holiday, to deny them that joy? We don't need to remind them. Let them experience love in the way that which they want to experience love. So last year, I did have a Valentine, and it was the first time I ever had a Valentine, and it was really strange because I was seeing this guy, and at the beginning of the year, he was someone who I dated before. I would put a clown nose on, but I'm gonna look like a clown at the end of this look because it's gonna be so just dramatic. And that's the intention. That's what we want. I had dated him before. We had started becoming friends again in August of 2021, and at the beginning of 2022, I definitely still had feelings for him, and I told him that at the beginning of the year, and then we were out together just hanging out as friends, and I kissed him. It was reciprocated, so that's good. Anyway, and that was February of last year. And I only know that because I have been doing this thing with this is an aside, but it will relate. So I have been doing this thing. I saw it on TikTok. Some brilliant human on TikTok was every day, because I take a lot of pictures. I pay $3 a month for my iCloud to back up because I have so many pictures. It's mostly makeup selfies or videos I have forgotten to delete that I had to incorporate into YouTube videos, and it's I don't need them anymore, and they're on my they are now on a hard drive instead of in the cloud. I don't save all of my raw footage. I know that some other YouTubers do. I just don't have that kind of memory. When was the last time I had the wherewithal to look at my old content and be here's this thing? No, I'll just do it again. Well, also whatever. We were doing full coverage today, so we are gonna do the green color corrector to even out this redness, to put more red on top. You say it's counterintuitive. I say it's tuitive. Is that a word? I'm joking. You know what I mean? I'm joking. But if something's intuitive, is there just tuitive? You know how we say I'm just whelmed by that? So the person on TikTok, they said This is, every time I do one of these like get ready with me's or like looks like this, I feel like my brain is so all over the place. They said every day, and this is obviously for iPhone users, not obviously. I have nothing against Android users, by the way. This isn't a hierarchy. You use whatever phone you want. I don't care that your bubbles show up as green on my phone. I say this as someone who had a Google Pixel for a year. And here's the thing. I loved my Google Pixel. But the reason I left the Android world, I don't like the keyboard. I made so many typos, and I think it's just because my first touch screen phone where the keyboard wasn't part of the, like, you know, I had phones where I had keyboards before I had a touch screen phone, but my first like touch screen phone where the keyboard was just in the screen was an iPhone, and so my fingers were just adapted to it, and they could not get used to I'm gonna use the House Labs foundation. I could not, we're gonna take it down here too. I have some redness on my neck. I think I'm gonna I think I need to I'm gonna start looking into solutions for razor burn. Because I like my facial hair, but like if I let it go down my neck, I really hate the way it looks. Like I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I don't shave it every day, and I try to space out my shave. We're losing it, Tom. What were we talking about before shaving? Anyway, if I shave right after I shower, which is my shaving goes so much better because of the steam, my pores are open, etc., etc. But like if I'm just washing my face and want to shave, there's not as much like steam, and whatever, you know. And I exfoliate my neck, and I put like anti-bump stuff on my neck too, and like it just doesn't work. I don't know. It only works if I have done it right after showering. So I'm thinking about getting a facial steamer, but like just for my neck. I mean, I probably would use it on my face if I had it, but mostly for my neck. Like if I'm gonna shave and I'm not gonna wash my face, I'm gonna like steam my neck for a little bit, get those pores open, do exfoliation before I shave, etc., etc. And I know you guys have seen my skincare regimen, so you know I'm out here exfoliating my face. I do take it down my neck too, so it's like, what is the tea? I'm gonna start with 1 pump. We might do 2 pumps just for more coverage, but let's see where this gets me. So then I kissed him. That's where we were. That's what we were talking about. I kissed him. No. Okay. iPhone users. I know the comments are gonna be like, Tom, are you undiagnosed like with ADHD? And I'll be like, probably. And I'm not saying that like lightly. I do have a friend who has ADHD, and obviously many friends who are like neurodivergent, and they're like, they tell me that I have kind of swindled the system. Like I do have it, but like I have really found a way to make my life work, and like it's not like as big of an issue for me. Like I don't have issues not getting things done. I think you can tell by me being able to put out fairly consistently 3 YouTube videos a week. I don't think I'm gonna need another layer of this, but every day go into your photos, and then you know how you can search your photos? You could be like dog or whatever, and it will show you like all the pictures of dogs on your phone. Search for the date. So every day, so like today, as I'm recording this is February 10th. I went into my phone this morning. I always do it right when I wake up, but you can do it whenever, you know, make it your thing. I woke up and I typed in February 10th, and then all the pictures that I have from February 10th popped up. So, and then I go through and I delete the ones I don't need. So it's like me deleting a lot of makeup pictures. Not all of them. I keep the ones that I think look good, but I don't keep all of them. I saw this picture the night I kissed him. I took a selfie in my bathroom because I was like a little bit drunk, but I didn't black out. Although I would say I maybe browned out a little bit because I think we're gonna bake today. So I'm gonna add a little more concealer than I usually would, but not triangles. I can't do that. That's just not my nature. It won't look good on me. We're not 25 anymore. I took this selfie the night after I kissed him in my bathroom because I was wearing makeup and I did wash my face. So there's one thing that a very drunk Tom is gonna handle, and it is skincare. Now, I definitely didn't do like the Dr. Dennis Gross LED mask that night. Like that was off the table, but makeup remover, serums, they all went on my face, and I was drunk and I really wanted to go to bed, but I was also like so lit up because I had like kissed him, blah, blah, blah. So things moved pretty fast. I think that picture was taken on February 6th. So like I said, I saw it a couple days ago when I was like doing that process of, wow, I'm doing so good bringing it back around. Looking up those pictures. Okay, hold on. Valentine's Day rolls around last year, and I wasn't expecting anything. He brings over flowers. He bought me flowers. I'm gonna do some like heavier contour than I usually do because we're gonna have a lot going on the face, and we don't want to lose all definition even though we're having fun. I moved all of my product into the center of this contour in attempt to use it faster. I'm not really sure what my end goal was, but we'll see. We'll see how much I use it because I didn't like having to scrape up on the ends. I also feel like I'm picking up so much more well, this brush definitely needs to be cleaned because I used it to like pack down the cream. He brought me flowers on Valentine's Day, and that was the first time ever that I have received flowers on Valentine's Day, and it was a momentous occasion because if you would have asked me before that day, is Tom someone who would appreciate having someone buy flowers for them, I would have said, absolutely not. I do not care about this. This is not something that needs to happen. But I turned into a flower girly real quick. I'm not a plant gay, by the way. I do think it's in the pipeline for me. Like, I think there will be a day where I'm like, plants, but it's not now. Anyway, so I was gifted these flowers. I dried the flowers. I held on to the flowers. Me and this person broke up last summer. It was a whole to-do. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. It's about Valentine's Day. Anyway, so then I was like, oh my God, I love Valentine's Day. I fully get it because I got flowers. And then I understand that Miley's out here singing, I could buy myself flowers. And I love the sentiment, but I'm not going to do that. Not on Valentine's Day. If I'm going to buy myself flowers, I buy them at another time when it's probably, I imagine florists, and they'd be wise to do this, and I don't begrudge them this, but I would, I bet their prices are more expensive. And while I was gifted roses, and I really liked having the roses, I really did. Roses aren't my favorite flowers, so if I'm gonna bother to buy myself flowers, I'm gonna I like lilies. I'm like that girl. I'm like a lily girl. So then I got it. Like, I understood Valentine's Day all of a sudden. I was like, this is nice. I understand. I understand why people like this. I understand it. And so I do not have a Valentine. I don't have a Valentine, and it's okay. I'm not mad about it. I did cry. I did cry about it the other night. But here's the thing. I had as I record this, I'm gonna really pack some powder under my eye. Really try to use up some of this powder because I am sick of it. Because I have a plan. I have a plan with eyeshadows. I have a plan with powders to set because I always set my eyeshadow base with powder. And that's what I've been using this powder for. But I also have a bunch of like nude colored eyeshadows that I can use for that. That'd be a great way to use, I feel. That'd be like a great way for me to use up powders. Use up those eyeshadows. Anyway, okay. I had a very emotionally charged week. There was, not personally, but a good friend of mine had some mental health things that needed situated, and that was a very overwhelming experience for me. It took a lot of energy, and I was like learning something new at work this week. And obviously we can't time these things, and obviously I don't begrudge my friend for like having to I need support in a way. And also, I was worried. It was like was a situation, right? I was worried. So it's just been a very stressful week. So I think that it happened the night that all of the things with my friend happened. I was like going to bed that night, and like I just started crying. I was like, I don't have a Valentine this year. It wasn't really like, I'm not feeling lonely. I'm not feeling really sad about being single either right now. It was just like a thing that I would just like, I like put two and two together. I was like, it's almost Valentine's Day, and you had a very good Valentine's Day last year, and like it is not going to be the same this year. And that's totally fine. That's okay. My Valentine's Day now I look like a devil. Now that my face is blanked out, it's like really these wings are doing something. When I've been going through my photos, I also dated this guy, 6 or 7 years ago, right around Valentine's Day. And I don't have anyone that I just recently broke up with. Like, someone broke up with me in December, but like that doesn't feel close enough. Like, I don't feel like, oh no, I missed out on that. Like, that's not how I feel about that. Like, okay, so 6 or 7 years ago, whenever I was seeing this guy, because pictures of him popped up, I am one of those people where I do not immediately delete pictures of people once I've broken up with them or anything like that. Like, I don't feel some kind of way. Now, the person last Valentine's Day that I was kissing that gave me a card that said he loved me, whatever, I have been deleting my pictures of him, but that was a different scenario. I am using the Kaleidos Contour Trio here. I've used this a couple times since that video, And I'm still a very big fan of this contouring. I'm not going to use this bronzer. I'm probably going to use a different bronzer, but that's okay. Like, it's just, look at it melt into the skin. Damn, it's so good. I know they sell the setting powder as its own thing. I wish they would sell the contour powder in its own palette. I like the bronzer is nice and the setting powder is nice. All three products so far I've been finding to be like very nice. All I want is that contour powder. Because like this bronzer is not better than my other bronzers. It's a nice bronzer. It's going to be a bronzer that I use out of happenstance because it happens to be in here. So when I'm using this contour powder, it's going to be like a bronzer that I will consider using. But like I've said right now, like today, I'm not going to be using that bronzer. This guy on my, so we started seeing each other in January and he lives like not close to here. And as a refresher, I don't drive. Living, breathing, speaking, walking stereotype of a queer person who can't drive. The thing is, it hasn't been a hindrance. Anyway, I told you I'm not gonna talk about that, and I'm not. This is how I really used to like do my makeup, by the way. Like this, all this powder, layers and layers of contour, layers and layers of all these things. I mean, I do get into a spicy mood and do it sometimes, but it's very rare that I feel this way. But I feel like when you're doing an intense look, you need everything to like match it. I was just watching a video of Khaki and she was like, she did her brows and then her brows weren't done up enough with like the look that she was doing. And so she like had to go back in and add some more to the brows. Just, I don't know what the timestamp in the video is right now, but I need you to know that I've already been recording for 40 minutes and I don't even have my complexion done. I just would like that to be noted. I have, for some reason I have this feeling someone's gonna like read me and be like, a lot of the time by 40 minutes in your even edited videos, your complexion isn't done. We started seeing each other in like January. It's very cold. It was always very cold. And he was from like West Virginia. I really easily could do a low blowing, look at my hair, blow, kind of like West Virginia. I'm not gonna do that. This guy was very sweet until I got skeeved out a little bit. But we'll talk about it. Let's talk about the lead up. Let's talk about our first date. Our first date was at this place called BRGR. I don't even know if those still exist. No, they don't. Because what did I just... I just read something somewhere that like the last BRGR in Pittsburgh just closed. I guess it's more of a chain than I thought it was. So anyway, if you have a BRGR, go get a burger out of solidarity for me. I'm going back into Love Plus and I'm gonna start using it as a blush. I'm gonna try to go in very lightly. I'm just gonna do it on the back of my back up here on my temple, and I'm gonna like pat it down. Okay, and then I'm gonna go, that's enough. I'm gonna go in with my powder brush and diffuse that a bit. Sugar Pill shadows are no joke, but they like are pretty as, they are kind of pretty as blushes too. There's a shade, and it's a pink shade called Tokyo. Ooh, that is a blush. Is very pretty too. I went to BRGR. I got there first. You know how sometimes, well, I readjust, this is something I've learned. I'm not really comfortable in sitting in one space for a while where like if we are like if we were to go to the movies together, I like fidget a lot. I fidget a lot in my videos. I do this a lot to like readjust. I have to edit it out all the time, and sometimes I have to leave them in because I do it so much, and like I'll be in the middle of a sentence and not even realize that I'm doing it. I was fidgeting a little bit. This is Kaleidos Dream Walk, and I'm just gonna put that on the front of my cheeks and blend it up. I'm gonna take it up into my temple a little bit. I don't really like that my blush feels like it's stopping abruptly up here, but I normally do take my blush up around my eye, but because of the eye shape I've created, it's like not really a possibility. And so I was readjusting, and we were sitting at a high top table, and I readjusted and my chair broke. I didn't fall. It was just the thing that I was putting my weight on to like readjust busted off, but it was really loud and everyone knew. The restaurant did bring me another chair. It was a whole thing. I also really think it, would be embarrassed about my weight, but I was like much thinner at that juncture in my life. So I don't really think it was my weight. I just think it was like an old chair. And I don't begrudge the restaurant. They were very apologetic. I think we got free dessert out of the whole thing. It was very funny because he looked at me and he said, I promise when I recount this date, I won't tell anyone that happened. And I said, I appreciate that. So we dated each other for a while. He made me watch The Shining. I had never seen The Shining, and it's still to this day is the only time I watched The Shining. So we were watching The Shining on my couch, not upstairs, but like in my room. So before the pink chairs in the back, I had like this ugly brown couch. But the whole reason like This is my bedroom. The whole reason my bedroom is kind of set up as a space that can be like multifunctional is because my brother, when we moved into this house, was a night nurse. And there's a door from outside into this room. And I always thought, like, if Art was sleeping and I wanted to have people over, I could just like bring them in my back door and we wouldn't have to go up, like we wouldn't have to we don't have to annoy Art. We could close Art's door, close my door, like try to protect the sound from like getting to him. It didn't happen very much, but it was like one of those things. Anyway, but so I was like, I need a living space in my bedroom. We were sitting on that ugly brown couch. God, that couch was ugly. It wasn't even comfortable either. It was like from Walmart or something. It was like not the best. Not that those chairs are the most comfortable just because of the kind of chairs they are, but this couch. Anyway, so we were cuddling on the couch, watching The Shining. So I like horror movies, whatever. I know that The Shining is a classic, but The Shining is also a very long movie. And my patience for movies is slim to none. And that should be known. You should just know that going in. Like, I don't have a lot of patience to be watching movies. It's not in my blood. It's like, I don't like it. I'm gonna just line my eyes real quick. We were watching The Shining and he was trying to get frisky. And I was like, I'm only gonna watch The Shining one time and this is the time. And he was like, okay. Anyway, I love a horror movie. I do. I was fairly certain I wasn't going to enjoy The Shining. Spoiler alert, I really didn't enjoy The Shining. Not because of him or whatever. It was just like, I just didn't care about it. Like, I just didn't care. Like, whatever. It's like one of those things that, like, film bros are the most annoying people. I went to a school called Point Park for a bit of time. It's one of the schools I went. And they had a conservatory for the performing arts, but they also had a film school. And oh, the insufferability of a man in a film school. I just feel like The Shining is one of those things that men in film schools just love to debate, and it's fine. It's not brilliant. I'm just gonna say that here now, and some of you might disagree with me, and that's absolutely okay, but don't bother in the comments telling me why I'm wrong. This is my YouTube comment section and I can delete those comments. Trying to get frisky. He also did this thing whenever there would be like a jump scare. He knew it was coming because he's like a big fan of the movie. He wasn't really insufferable about it. He just said like, I should see it. So and every time a jump scare would come, he would jump before the jump scare in order to be like I'm gonna freak out. And I was just like, it's not that I don't jump during movies, by the way. I'm not saying that that's something that I feel like maybe I want to put more blush in my temple. Maybe a little more pink, a little more dream walk. So yeah, I forewent some sexual activity just to finish watching The Shining because I knew I would never watch The Shining again. Eat that, film bros. I am better than you. But we hung out for a while. So we would see each other every now and then. And he came up here a lot to hang out with me. And, that's very sweet. It's because he liked me. And one night he stayed the night and I was gonna do laundry and then I found a pair of his underwear in my room. And I was like, oh my God, you left your underwear here. Did you go home commando? And he proceeds to respond with a picture of him wearing a pair of my underwear. And I said, that's creepy. Why did you do that? Keep in mind, I cannot emphasize enough, we had known each other for a couple of weeks, and I understand that gay men do things and that's culturally whatever. So some of you might hear that and be like, that's not weird, but it was weird. I was uncomfortable. And he was like, no, it's not, blah, blah, blah. And then I sent, of course, anytime a relationship ends, even if I'm not the one breaking up, there is a wall of text. Always is a wall of text that you get from me. It's like feedback. The last guy I dated did not get a wall of text because it was very amicable, but there's always a wall of text. There's always a wall of text that you're gonna receive from me. I'm not gonna apologize for it. He stole my underwear and I called things off because I was like, I didn't like that you stole my underwear. He did apologize profusely. He's like, I can return them. And I was like, I'm good. But I do to this day, every time I run out of underwear, I go, if he just wouldn't have stolen that underwear. Of course, at this point, we're now 7 years later. I do not have the same underwear that I had 7 years ago. Why do you still have underwear that you were wearing 7 years ago? Even if your body didn't change sizes, why? Why are you doing that? Valentine's Day is just a time of year for me. And I mean, it's just a time of year for all of us. I'm gonna do a tear of blood as I always do, to make it look interesting. So what I'm really doing, I'm using like aqua paints from Krylon, and I'm like literally just making it so liquidy, and I am gonna go like on the corner of my eye, and I'm just gonna keep applying it until it drips on its own. We might help it out a little bit if it's refusing to fall, but I'm like essentially like scooping up product with this liner brush. I'm applying it, and so it falls on its own, and it will fall along the contours of my cheeks. You know how like your tear doesn't really like go straight down? Because if I were to draw it, it would want to, like it wouldn't go where like a tear would fall, like if something fell out of my eye. So that is why I'm trying to let it fall on its own. Once it gets to the beard area, I've done this on camera before, I feel, it kind of stops. And in my first look I did this, like in the old look, like the one from when I worked at Sephora, I drew like many. I'm gonna keep it at one. I think that's just more succinct. And also it could be not really a blood tear, but it could be, you could consider this just from my eyeliner, my whole makeup situation. Like how I was holding my hair out of my face as if it was gonna fall back in. Like I've committed to the Jimmy Neutron of it all for this video. It's fine. I kind of want to draw a heart on this cheek. This brush feels really big. Maybe I'll do it with eyeliner while this continues to fall and dry. I'm thinking like Marina and the Dye. Well, since the look is inspired by Marina, it feels only appropriate to do the Electra heart. Although I always forget which cheek that technically goes on. There we go. It's the teeniest heart. It's so funny. Every time I go to a Marina concert and people do the Electra heart, which is fine. I think it's a little bit passe. You know, it's been a decade, but whatever. You can do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. I always think that people draw them on too big. Now, she drew them bigger for the stage, but in her videos, I swear to God, it wasn't that big. Now I'm gonna also do it with a black. Do the same thing that I just did with the red, but with a black. So it looks like my eyeliner slash, you know, bottom lash mascara has also, but I'm gonna do it more in the center and like allow them to kind of meet up. And maybe we'll do it on this side. We'll do it on this side. So it's like contrasting, you know? So I need a little more water. I'm not actually using water. I'm using Mayron mixing medium for the purposes of this, but it's water activated. It'll like I've used setting spray. Here's the thing. It doesn't really matter that I mess up this aqua paints because they're mine. And I'm not gonna ever use these on other people, but they're probably not, like they would not be safe to use on another person. Like, I mean, if my friend wants to use them, I'm gonna stick to the center of the eye here. They certainly can. And the other reason you don't want to, specifically with the black is gonna turn gray as it goes down my cheek. Because that's what happens, you know? The pigment doesn't stay fully pigmented. But if you keep loading it with more pigment and like bringing it down your face, it's not gonna have that like effect of like turning gray. Now we're gonna write evil over top of the one eye, and it's gonna look a little maniacal, and that's okay. Okay, evil, EVOL. So I need to draw a mirror image of it for me. Like I can't, do you know what I mean? Like, cause for you, I need it to be, anyway, you get what I mean. This is the right side of my face. That would be this is a lot. Oh, this could be bad. Okay. Okay, it looks right in the monitor. Jesus Christ. Where would I want to draw the heart though? This heart, the red heart. I like just did a test run on my hand. That looks like a heart, right? Yeah. Do I want to put that on my, I really wish I could do like maybe I will do it on my nose. I feel like it's too small. Hold on. It looks like a heart, but it certainly doesn't look like a heart. But we'll have fun here. Should I have a bloody nose? I think I should. Maybe, you know what? We're gonna hold off. Well, I'm not like glam and gore. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing special effects. Although it might not like the bloody nose. Like the eye is like, not very realistic. Okay, we're not gonna do the nose. We're not gonna do the nose. There is certainly like a heart on my nose. I might clean that up with a little bit of concealer. I cleaned it up like a little bit, and I do think that was worth my time. I'm not joking. I feel like that came off very insincere, but I like it better. mascara. I'm gonna like really put on mascara. Dating is just such a fucking nightmare. I am so envious of people who are married and like in good marriages. And they're like, yeah, we never had to use dating apps. I know like younger people, like it's a little, but like I have one friend and she's been with the person that she's with for a very long time, and she was like, yeah, we met before the apps even were a thing. I remember being on, way back in the day, OkCupid, and I remember this person saying hello to me, and I did not respond right away because I was a college student and I had things to do. And this is like before we did everything on our phones too. Like I had an iPhone, but like we weren't using apps in the way that we are now. You know, like I think we easily forget how different things were just a decade ago when it comes to that. So he messaged me hello. I did not respond right away. And then he was like, what? Why didn't you like me? Why didn't you respond to me? And I said, hello. I did not respond to you right away because I was busy. I'm so sorry that I did not respond to you. And I was like, I'm not interested in talking to you, especially now, because it seems like you're pretty self-conscious and not really confident in what you're doing. And wall of text. But it was one of those things where it was just like, I probably would have said hi back to him when I had the opportunity to. I just hadn't at that point. And I was just like, if you would have given me more time to respond, I might have. But I was like, I feel like you just kind of showed your whole ass just now. Like, you were waiting for me, and like, pretty sure that at this time, OkCupid did have read receipts. I think they had like incognito mode. Like, you could either have it where like people could see that you had read their messages or not, and I must not have turned it off at that point. I don't think I knew any better. I'm like catching myself in the the monitors, and I'm like, wow, we really are doing a lot today. We are gonna do a glitter lip. Also, Godspeed to anyone who's like actively dating right now. I don't know how you're doing it. I think after both experiences I had during recently, I just am like, and you know what? I'm good. To recap, for anyone who's curious on how I did that glitter lip, I just took like a creamy red lipstick. I used the one from Hourglass, the Red Zero, and I just do it kind of in quarters, and then while it's still like not set, you just press the glitter into it. This is definitely more for like if you're just doing photos versus like doing, you know, going out lips, but it's effective enough. I would say if you want to do like going out, I would do like a liquid lipstick, something that has a little more tact. And again, do it in sections so that glitter can like get stuck to it as opposed to like trying to press it on top of the dry liquid lipstick. You want the liquid lipstick to still be wet. And I did use like a Pat McGrath glitter because it's like from one of the lip kits. But if you want to be more creative with it, I highly recommend getting edible glitter from like a baking goods store. And that way it's like if you ingest it, it's not plastic. I mean, I'm obviously okay with ingesting plastic. I have glitter all over my lips right now. Okay, I'm gonna spray my face real quick and then I'm gonna come back and wrap things up. I'm gonna zoom in so you can take a closer look. Evil. Red tear. Little heart, mascara running. Ooh, glitter lips. Ooh. I even like my little heart on my nose. I know it kind of makes me look like a clown, but love is clownish behavior. It's foolish behavior. This is definitely the more elevated version of what I did. My look back then was like really messy, and messy on purpose, right? Like that was like the purpose of it. But I like wanted a little more structure in this one, but you can still see all of the inspiration is there. You know, I haven't done a glitter lip in so long. Right now I'm like, wow, I should do glitter lips more, but I know when I take this off tonight, I'll be like, that's why I don't do them. This is why I don't do glitter lips anymore. This is what you want to look like if you don't want love. You should follow this tutorial and follow for more. So if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe. I don't do like looks like this very often. Like they're very fun to do. If I do a look like this, it's normally off camera because there's so much you know, it's involved, right? It's like you're like doing things that you don't normally do. Like I can throw out a beauty beat all day, every day, and record a video of me doing that. But like to do something like this that has like intention behind it, it's like a little harder for me to do on camera. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think I look pretty sickening. So I'd love to have you subscribe, stick around, catch the vibe. Make sure you like this video so you can get into the eyes of other people who need to know about anti-Valentine's Day looks. And I'm also on patreon.com if you'd like to support me there. There is absolutely no pressure though. I'm just so happy that you are here watching the video all the way through. Again, thank you to my beautiful patrons. Go listen to Evil, spelled like this, by Marina. Go listen to Just Desserts by Marina and Charlie XCX. Don't fall in love. Remember to follow your haute and you'll find me. I appreciate you all so much. Bye-bye.